Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant information of the day. Much attention to the following news. Today, health authorities reported the highest number of deaths in the archipelago due to COVID-19 so far in the pandemic.
For today, the National Institute of Health reported 36 new cases of COVID-19 in the archipelago, a figure that, according to the Secretariat of Health, represents a slight decrease in the cases of contagion. On the other hand, the number of deaths from coronavirus continues to rise in the islands. Today, 7 people were reported dead from this disease, 5 women and 2 men. The departmental government, through its last report dated May 27, indicated that in the archipelago there are currently 276 active cases of coronavirus, 272 in San Andres and 4 in Providence. The occupancy in the COVID-19 ICU reached 81%. The Ministry of Health, in its last report of the vaccination plan dated May 27, indicated that the archipelago has vaccinated 15,218 people.
Information has been circulating on social media regarding a new strain or variant of the COVID-19 virus. The Secretary of Health, Julian Davis Robinson, spoke about it.
From the Secretariat of Health, we have been working for a month now hand in hand with the National Health Institute, taking samples as genome surveillance, which means that we are taking random PCR samples from people and those that test positive and are sending them to the National Health Institute to see what type of strain is circulating in the department.
The Secretariat also explained that they are waiting for the National Health Institute to confirm the existence or not of the Andean variant in the archipelago.
We are waiting for the committee of experts from the National Health Institute to meet with us to verify if there is a strain called Andean, which was the one that highly affected Chile with cases.
The Secretariat indicated that it is important that people strictly maintain biosecurity measures, whether or not there is a new variant present on the island.
And this afternoon, island students held a peaceful protest in support of the national strike.
In support of the national strike, a group of students from different institutions of higher and technical education held a peaceful march through the street of the department. With banners and chants, students called for respect for life during the protests that take place in major cities across the country.
What motivated us to go out to the streets, since we have been doing this since April 28th? First was the introduction of the tax reform that was known to be a disastrous measure, because it was based on putting more taxes on the middle class, because the rich were not touched. Apart from that, we are also protesting about local problems. We know that health in the archipelago is terrible. We want more support for education. Many of those who are here are students. We also want to invite adults not to stigmatize us.
In a process of reflection, after sitting a lot to dialogue, we realized that this will not affect us. Sometimes we islander people are apathetic because we believe that as we are far away, those decisions that are taken at the central level will not affect us. In fact, they have shouted it to us in the street. Why are we marching if none of that will affect us? It will not be reflected, but they do not know how wrong they are. You cannot be indifferent to the situation in the country. They are killing young people. That because we are on San Andres doesn't mean that we don't belong to Colombia. It does not mean that I wake up every day watching the image of dead bodies in rivers and I do not feel like crying. I do not feel like indignation. I do not feel like screaming. They are fighting. Here we are few, but at least we are accompanying them, and here we are not well. They stole the sea from us quietly. Everything happens quietly. It goes on and nobody says anything. It is time for us to stand up for our rights.
During the protest, members of the Ombudsman Office accompanied the students. There were also traumas in the flow of vehicles, a situation that was attended by the blue traffic agents.
And vaccination against measles and rubeola continues on the island. Therefore, the Secretariat of Health sends a reminder that children from 1 to 10 years old can be vaccinated.
We are still in this stage, vaccinating from 60 go up. Everyone who don't receive the vaccine yet can receive it. And also the line notes from the Ministry of Health that we received lately is from stage 3, that including from 55 years to 59 years. They can go by the points them, and without agenda, they can show them prioritization that they can search for it in Mi Vacuna, in the plataforma Mi Vacuna, and then they can verify, and with that they can receive the vaccine.
To give continuity to this campaign, vaccination days have begun in different sectors and educational institutions. Today, they were carried out at the Gimnasio Real School and in the sector of Modelo and surrounding areas. On Monday, it will be at the Cajasay School and at the Cocal sector. Tuesday, First Baptist School and the Santana sector. Thursday, Magic Word and the sector of Cartagena Alegre. As the day progresses, repito, as the journeys progress, the sectors and institutions will be updated.
And in other news, INFOTEP was ranked #1 in the department in the institutional performance measurement carried out by the Administrative Department of Public Function.
Director of the institution tells us that this achievement is reached thanks to the progress and results of the entity.
En INFOTEP estamos muy contentos.
At the INFOTEP, we are very happy with the results of the Institutional Performance Index, which is a measurement made every year by the Administrative Department of the Civil Service, where the management of all public entities in the country is measured. So we can say that we have gone up 10 points from 80.4 to 90.4, and we are very happy with that outcome. It has been a teamwork, human talent issues, and evaluated knowledge, management, and innovation, efficiency in the management of resources, transparency in public procurement. So we are very happy because once again the public function says that of the entities to be reported in the department, INFOTEP is the one that is ahead and in first place.
It is also worth mentioning that thanks to these results of the entities such as INFOTEP, the Ministry of the National Education of Colombia also obtained for its performance first place again among the 17 ministries and other state entities in this measurement if the Institutional Performance Index 2020 conducted by the Administrative Department of Public Function.
And in other news, tomorrow, May 29th, the voting registration process for the 2022 elections will begin throughout the country.
In order to be able to vote in the elections for Congress President and Vice President of the Republic to be held next year, citizens who have changed their place of residence or domicile or who have never voted and whose ID card was issued before 1988 should register. It is important that all citizens take into account the following recommendations. For elections for President and Vice President of the Republic, the process of registration of citizenship cards will be open between May 29 of 2021 and March 29 of 2022. For municipal and local youth councils, young people between 14 and 28 years old who wish to vote in these elections may register their document between June 1st and August 30 of 2021. For congressional elections, voting registration began on March 13 of 2021 and deadline is January 13 of 2022. Remember that you must only register your ID card if you have never voted or if you want to change your polling place to one closer to your place of residence, and to do so you must go to the nearest department clerk office with your original identity document.
The Federation of Artisanal Fishermen, in agreement with the National Fishing Authority, the Ministry of Agriculture, and several other ministries, entities, and the Raisal Authority, set up a dialogue table in the Camp for Dignity.
This afternoon, the dialogue table between different entities, national government ministries, and the Fisherman Federation with more than 70 days protest was installed. As part of the discussion table, topics such as the effects of the hurricane on fishing, fishing policies, and the reconstruction of the fishing fleet, among other topics, will be discussed.
La Federación de Pescadores de Providencia.
The Federation of Fishermen in Old Providence asked us to lead a process in which the more than 300 fishermen on the island, which represent about 30% of the population, asked us to bring together different ministries to address various issues pending since Hurricane Iota. Issues such as unemployment benefits, fuel subsidies, health issues, and also issues arising from fishing.
Issues such as an exclusive zone for artisanal fishing, plus equipment for the reactivation process chain, also are part of the discussion table.
The houses for the fishermen and the farmers, then. You got the rebuilding of the fishing fleet and the program of reforestation from the farmers, them. And you got the proposal, the structural proposal from the CEPA, the Zona Exclusiva de Pesca Artesanal.
Some of these issues were being developed with the Ministry of Agriculture and the INFOTEP, with the commitments that had already been acquired, but they were stopped.
Básicamente, para resumir, son 53.
Basically, to summarize, there are 53 new boats, approximately 150 engines of different horsepower, 4 processing plants, which are containers, 4 ice machines, also some diving equipment, masks, snorkels, fins, and these monies are approximately 6,000 million pesos that come from the National Unit for Risk Management, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the INFOTEP.
One of the conditions for this process to gain strength is that the Navy camp located next to the fishing co-op be lifted.
And in recent days, the meeting of the Municipal Council for Risk Management was held in the presence of several secretaries and authorities of the municipality.
In company of different municipal authorities and with the participation of the University of Cartagena, the Municipal Council for Risk Management was held. Through the official channels of the Municipal Mayor's Office, the Mayor gave a report on the topics that were addressed as part of this meeting.
Nos hemos reunido el Consejo Municipal de Gestión de Riesgos.
The Municipal Council for Risk Management have met basically to deal with 4 topics. The first in relation to the upcoming drought season and the strategies that we have been working on with the Vice Ministry of Water and the unit to guarantee to the community that we will not have water shortages in all Providence.
In addition to the possible difficulties that may arise in terms of access to water, the issue of housing in risk areas was also discussed.
Segundo punto tratado en el Consejo.
The second point discussed at the council is in relation to those 102 homes that are or were located in risk zones, since these people will have to, in one way or another, look for alternatives to be relocated.
Finally, the single registry of victims will be reopened once again.
Es la apertura del RUT, el registro único de...
We will have the opening of the victims single registry for those legal entities that were not registered in it, so that the competent entities can make the respective interventions and repair these establishments. The fourth point is related to the EMRE, which is the municipal strategy in response to any type of emergency that may occur in the municipality.
Ya estás al día con tu técnico mecánica, ten presente la fecha de vencimiento. Ve hoy a los CDA autorizados y realiza el procedimiento. En la vía abraza la vida, una campaña de la Agencia Nacional de Seguridad Vial y el Ministerio de Transporte. Now we continue with all the cultural news from our department.
With the objective of creating new universe through new technologies and learning all the transmedia offers to discover the movies world, Encarrete Isleño is a workshop that will take place between June 2nd and 5th with limited space. Those interested can register on the event's website. A space for updating and reflection to strengthen the concepts of the public and citizenship will be enclosed in the conference entitled Tourism After the Pandemic, to be held this May 31st at 4 p.m. through Facebook Live at the Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic. Panelists include Jaime Alfredo Bonet and Diana Ricciuli from the Center for Economic Studies, Campus Cartagena.